Hi, it's Cindy here from the Osterville Library again. And today we got a really interesting interview with Peter Duff. He is the owner of the Fair and Just Kitchen. And I know there's been this pretty funny meme going around Facebook of the quarantine diet where somebody starts off really healthy and then at like 5 o'clock it shifts to 3 pizzas, 4 rolls of cookie dough, a bag of pretzels and 3 bottles of Pepsi and all this other stuff. And I think a lot of us probably aren't eating as well as we had hoped to do. So Peter is an expert, in my opinion, on what is a plant-based diet, because you hear so much about it in the news. And so why don't you explain, Peter, what a plant-based diet is?
It's really pretty simple. I mean, it's not using any animal products in my cooking and what I eat, and mainly sticking to whole grains, minimally processed foods, and sticking to that plant-based thoughts. So a lot of whole grains, rices, different grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, and whatever vegetables are available, really, vegetables and fruits. It's just I think that most people that eat a normal American diet, they are already incorporating a lot of these things in their cooking. They're just using, they might be eating chicken with it, or they might be eating steak, or they might be having eggs, or they might be using cheese, or maybe they're cooking some things in butter. And but they're still using, they're still having vegetables on their plate. And for what I do is that's pretty much all that's on my plate, is vegetables and grains and nuts and seeds, and a good variety of those things, and trying to vary the things that I put into my body, that I cook and that I eat, so I'm getting the proper nutrients that I need to be healthy. Really, I mean, the more color you have on your plate, usually equates to the more nutrition, the different nutritions you're getting from the different vegetables and the different colors. We all know that carrots are, they have beta carotene, vitamin A, basically. So that orange color denotes that. So sweet potatoes would be the same as well. So that's basically it.
Well, I mean, and I wish people say, give us some of the names, like some of the dishes that you make are absolutely incredible. Like, just say like how you make something or how you season it up. It's like, I have vegetables. I don't know anything more than to put a little olive oil and salt and pepper on them, but you make these dishes that are absolutely incredible that I would never think to have or to try. How do you start experimenting? What spices or
well, for me, it's basically, what flavors I like. I like Asian style flavors. I like ginger. I like lemongrass. I like using tamari, wheat-free soy sauce, and hoisin sauce, and that's that. I like some Mexican spices. I like southwestern, cumin, spices for you use for chili, cumin, paprika, chili powder. It really just it kind of depends. That's where you would start, I would say, is the things that you like. If you like more kind of I don't know what you'd call them, maybe Thanksgiving style spices, sage and thyme. I mean, all these things are just like no calorie flavor additives that you can make your food taste good, or taste the way you want it to taste, so you'll eat it. Because that's really what it comes down to, is that you could create something that's fabulous, that's unbelievable, and it's like, but if you don't like those flavors, then you're not going to eat it anyways. Like I do some things with like coconut milk and curry in my dishes. For me, that's not something that I particularly like so much, but I know a lot of other people like that. So it's and I guess I have a little bit of a knack to the way my palate is really working. It's I don't know how to put this. It's when I taste my food and I feel that it's where I want it to be, I find that the majority of the people that eat my food agree with me, and I think that's kind of what helps me be successful, I guess. Is, I mean, I could create all this stuff and be like, oh, this tastes great, this is awesome, but it's like, if other people don't like it, then they're not going to buy it and they're not going to eat it. So I guess I've been kind of lucky in that, and I have been cooking for a number of years. I mean, I did a stint at Johnson & Wales about, almost 20 years ago. So I've got a formal background in culinary. That was before I was 100% plant-based, and I just kind of draw off the knowledge that my knife skills and the knowledge of the different ways to cook things, to saute, to roast, to bake, to fry, to shallow fry, things like that, to steam, and just incorporate those basic things into what I might, just what I want to cook that day, I guess. And and having the internet at everybody's fingertips, it's like, I mean, all you have to do is Google something, and you're going to find a lot of people out there that are like, a lot of recipes, a lot of things. Some work, some don't. I find that a lot of things they miss certain things, but it's like it gives you kind of a guideline or at least a place to start to go, oh geez, maybe I should try this, and then you can kind of go with your own palate and decide, if it's something that you like, or maybe you like it a little spicier, add a little more spice to it. I mean, it's organic, I think. I mean, when I think of a recipe and you look at a recipe to me is just a guide. It's not, I don't feel that it's not meant to go, from top to bottom and do everything exactly how that recipe states. And I'm speaking specifically not for baking. Baking is a science, but just, cooking in general, whether it's your breakfast, lunch, or your dinner, it's just kind of a guide to go by, and you can adjust. If you don't like a certain spice, then try a different one.
That's great. So I want to talk to you too, like you had just bought a kitchen, a restaurant.
Yeah.
All this happened. So you've had to really adjust your business. So, and we've got to wrap up here. Tell us like how you've adapted your business. Then give some examples of like some of the foods that you have available for takeout on weekends, because I mean, your creativity is amazing. And I think, you're worth the ride up to your place to maybe try some things to go, and the energy balls that you make and different things like that. So tell us how you're adapting and give us some of the flavors and things that you're making this weekend.
Okay. Well, the restaurant that I purchased basically is a to-go restaurant. I don't have seating in there, and part of my business plan was to make some money this season, this summer, and then I have a space next to my restaurant where I could put seating in. So that's kind of my ultimate goal, is to create seating inside. So in the winter months on Cape, I have a way for people to actually come and sit and eat, and that's to kind of increase the business there. I think I've been pretty lucky. I think in this situation where I already am a takeout place, so I don't have to adapt really to change anything necessarily for that. Excuse me. The one big thing is with all the social distancing and kind of quarantining yourself, I've really been careful and not. Unfortunately, I have very few employees. I have basically one main employee and one other employee, and I've been unable to employ them right now. Mainly because business isn't that good, but also because I don't want anybody in that restaurant, in my space, that isn't quarantining with me. So, I'm allowed to be there. Obviously, my son and my wife can come in there because we're all quarantining at home here. So the menu I've been running, basically the idea was to run Karma's menu and do my own specials, kind of slowly include my food in there to get people. I want to keep the customers that already come to this restaurant because it's established, and try to draw new people that want more plant-based foods and want to eat, some of the things that I cook, really. And what this situation is kind of, it's almost a blessing. I try to look at it, I just try to look at it from a positive sense, that it kind of is a blessing, because so right now, rather than trying to find the ingredients and stock a full menu where every week I'm probably going to have to throw out stuff because I'm not going to get that kind of business that's going to span a whole menu's worth. It's allowing me to be creative every single week and just offer a pared down special menu, we'll call it, with, you know, with a few soups and usually about 4 or 5 different entrees. And I bake for dessert stuff. I just bake whatever I have on hand, because it is hard to find certain ingredients. You know, my purveyors that I use for my produce, I can pretty much get whatever I want, but I have to get it a lot of times in quantity. Yeah. So I really have to plan my menu better. So I'm either cross-utilizing ingredients in other things, or trying to find smaller amounts of that to satisfy what I want to do for my menu. And I'm really, you know, in any normal case, I could just go down to the grocery store or any other store and pick up a couple. You know, I want to do something special and I can't get it somewhere else, I'll go to the grocery store and buy it. But it's like I'm avoiding doing stuff. So it's increased the creativity, I guess. So it's like I just have to really do a little more thinking and better planning for that. So
great. So how do people find you? Where's the location, and online? What's your online address?
Yeah, we're at 2628 Main Street, Brewster. So we're right on historic Route 6A in Brewster. I'm adjacent to Snowy Owl Coffee Roasters, and right in back of the True Value Hardware store right there across from Cumberland Farms. The phone number there is 896-8804, and my website is www.fairandjustkitchen.com, and that's spelled F-A-R-E, not F-A-I-R, and it can be a little bit confusing, but that's where I've been posting my weekly special menu. I've been open Thursdays through Sunday from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. for call in, pay over the phone, and pick up at my window, or we'll bring it right out and put it on your hood, and then you can get out and get your food that way. And you can also check my Facebook page at Fair and Just, or Instagram as the same handle there, where I usually post a new menu comes up. Usually on Tuesday is when I'll post the menu on all my social media and my website on the homepage there, to give people a chance to see what I'm offering this week, and hopefully they find something interesting there they want to come by. But I've gotten a good response. I've gotten a good response from the people that have been coming in, and I greatly appreciate the support that I've gotten from those that have trusted me with making their food.
This is a great time for someone to experiment with different foods, and I hope people will go to your website and take a look, or maybe take the drive up to Brewster and see how creative you truly are with foods and things, and maybe to add a little more healthy meals into their life at this time, and maybe start a great new habit. So thank you, Peter, so much for taking the time today and talking with me.
Well, thank you, Cindy. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Glad to be.
Bye.
Take care.